Hey,
buddy.
Hey.
How are you?
So let's just start with Trubisky.
Yeah, let's start with
Well, what do you make of that? I thought he looked athletic.
That's a good word for him. I think the same thing. Athleticism looked comfortable, I guess. I mean, he's somebody. I think he's got a good future. Obviously, it's only one game,
Right?
And a preseason. I liked him in the preseason. I thought they should have started him from the beginning of the season.
You did.
I think he's the future of that team.
You know,
obviously.
it is funny because Deshaun Watson comes out and now we've seen Deshaun now, and actually the Texans, since he started, are the number one offense. And again, Tony, you played, and I'll say this delicately, with mostly average quarterbacks until the end. Mm-hmm. Your Kansas City career, there was a lot of guys who weren't all time. Mm-hmm. Am I jumping the gun, or could you tell in your career after 2 or 3 games, oh, God, this guy's got it? Like Deshaun Watson, I'm like, no, he's got it.
Yeah.
Now, could get hurt, Bill O'Brien. But, I mean, I look at Bill O'Brien, I look at their receivers, I look at him, and I'm like, I think Deshaun's – I'm not saying he's not going to have moments, right?
Yeah.
Is it too early?
No, I think you could. No. I think like anytime you can step on the field, you can tell the guys that are going to have a good career. You can see it. And now, of course, there's flashes, and especially like early in camp. But when he's put together enough tape where you're looking at him from an athletic standpoint and from a decision-making standpoint, like when he chooses to use his legs, he knows how to slide. It's just a maturity about it
exactly.
that I love.
That's the Dak thing.
Yeah, that's a Dak thing.
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
That's where Cam has often struggled. Maybe it's his size. Sometimes he's let himself be vulnerable and get smoked.
Yeah.
And this quarterback's a decision judgment position as much as it is an athletic position. I think Deshaun's got it, and Trubisky looked good last night. All right, I always had this theory that let's say you and your girlfriend or your husband, wife are struggling. And if you can keep it inside the house or like on a car ride to get coffee, you can solve those problems. Mm-hmm. But if the arguments start bleeding into restaurants, parties with friends, it's hard to solve because then you can't. Listen, we all argue, right? Mm-hmm. But when arguments in couples start to move into public places, then what's it like privately? So the Steelers now, Ben's calling out Tomlin. I see Le'Veon Bell's like, we need to run the ball more. Ben called out Antonio Brown. I'm seeing public displays of anger. Doesn't that tell you something, Tony? Like in Pittsburgh, it's not good?
Yeah, it tells you something. I think this is the NFL's version of the Real Housewives or the Kardashians. It's a reality show going on over there. And I agree with you that it's become public. If I am Coach Tomlin, I would call a meeting and I'd get everybody in there. And I would say, hey, Le'Veon, Ben, AB on the defensive players, like here's what's going to happen. And I'm not asking your opinion. We got to get to the bottom of this. What is going on from a mental standpoint? Because that's what it is. It's all up here. It's emotional intelligence. That's what creates good teams. That's what Bill Belichick, it's stable. We talk about the stoic mentality. We're getting way too dramatic here. It's way too dramatic. We're going to the public saying stuff. Let's stop that because we got a good football team and we got to get back to winning games. Otherwise, this season's going to slip away. And it starts, for me, I think Ben Roethlisberger is the key to all this because the way his mind is right now and the things he said, that's concerning to me. That's not Hall of Fame talk to me. You don't start doubting yourself because we talked about it yesterday. You start doubting yourself. That's the kiss of death as a football player because players feed on that. You think guys aren't coming hitting him next week, getting in his brain now, knowing what he said this week? It's going to happen.
By the way, Pittsburgh guys put it up. Pittsburgh's early schedule. They looked at it. It was Jacksonville. It was Cleveland. It was Mike Glennon. If you look at the Steelers' schedule, it gets significantly harder now. It's Kansas City. Their 7 toughest games of the year appear to be, look at them right now, at Kansas City, at Detroit, Andrew Luck back for Indy, Green Bay, Cincinnati on the road will be tough, New England at Houston. So Pittsburgh's banging around against Case Keenum, Deshaun Kaiser, Mike Glennon, and right now awful Joe Flacco and Blake Bortles. For Pittsburgh, you just wasted 6 weeks, as you said, on emotional intelligence or lack thereof. All right, so Aaron Rodgers comes out against the Dallas Cowboys, and everybody's like, Des Bryant or, Dak should have slid, blah, 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 whatever. I don't buy that. I don't think it's a video game. When you see Aaron, Is it talent? Is it arm? Is it intelligence when he comes back down the field against the Cowboys? Like, what do you see as somebody who's going to make the Hall of Fame?
I think I see from a mental standpoint, he's a wizard. You know, he's the samurai 90-year-old guy that's got the beard way down to here. Like, he's so focused and so poised. And when he's on like this, there was nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. I've been on the other side of this. 31 of 36, I think he did when he came in there and played us in the playoffs. And there's even if the defender is in the right position, you can't stop it. You see him do a little stinky leg right there. He's feeling good at this point. When he's feeling good, that ball is coming on a rope. That was great defense, and there's nothing that defender can do about it. You're at the mercy of what he wants.
So he went 31 of 36 against you in a game. And when you're on the sidelines, amongst alpha males,
yes,
what are they saying about it?
We're over there, honestly, like half smiling to ourselves. Like, there's nothing you can do. Like, it's almost so he's so good sometimes that you say to yourself, it's like you say, well, what else can we do? It's not even worth getting mad about. It's actually like when people watch Jordan or they watch Barkley when they're having, or Larry Bird, I heard one time he was playing a game and the other team, the opposing team, stood up when he hit like his 50th point, because you're just watching greatness at that point, you know. And it's fun. It's fun. We're all fans of this league too. It's a good time.
So here we go in the NFL. It's week 4, it's week 5. And, you know, we all make these wild reactions. Last week you said, I don't buy into Buffalo, slow down. There's some posers. They're good, they're not great. All of a sudden, Carolina looks great. So I'm watching this weekend, and I watch Carolina and Cam, and for back-to-back weekends, I'm not kidding, Tony, I'm like, they are physically mauling Detroit. So here we go with Cam again, and Cam's been roller coaster Cam. When you watch Cam this weekend, should I buy into it or not? Because I don't care what the score was, they physically dominated Detroit, a good team, for 3.5 hours. Should I buy into it?
Well, I think you said it best. Your analysis was that how does he handle success? And in the past, he hasn't handled it that well. Now he's played 2 games in a row at a high level. It seems like everybody's forgiven him for all his comments. And like I said, talent trumps morals, whatever it is. And he's played good games, so you forgive him. I think from what I've seen, I'm going to buy him. I'm going to buy him, and I'll tell you why.
You've been critical before of him, though.
Because I always say, look at a person's history, and usually that'll tell you what they're going to do in the future. He's messed up before, and he apologizes. He messes up, he apologizes, and it is what it is.
That's his resume.
That's Cam Newton, and it's worked for him. Let's not forget about that, and it's worked for him. I just hope he plays the mental game, and he feels like he's backed in a corner, because that seems when he plays at his best, when he feels like the world is doubting him, and he's got something to prove.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for watching. We want you to subscribe here, to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the herd, or go watch a few segments from the newest show on FS1, First Things First, with Chris Carter and Nick Wright.